Hey guys, it is Breyer here and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about all of the places that you can buy model horses. Miss Mabel has joined us to say hello. Hi. So a very common question that I've been finding on a lot of my shorts is, where can I buy these? Obviously, shorts are getting pushed to a lot of people outside of the model horse community and they're interested in joining. So I thought that this would be a good informative video for anybody that is looking to get into the hobby and learn more about where you can purchase. So I know that many of you that are subscribed to me already know a lot of this information, but maybe I'll share a new place to buy that you haven't heard of. So let's get started. And first we're going to start with buying model horses in person. This is a lot simpler than online. Online there are many options, so we're going to start a little simple. So the first place we have is tack shops. So these are places that you can buy normal horse equipment, supplies, stuff like that. I know back where I grew up there were quite a lot of them, and every single one of them had Breyer horses. Yes, they did. I haven't been able to check out any of the tack shops that are around here, if there even are any, because honestly I've only been to Dover because it is the closest tack shop to me. So that leads us into the same tack shop category. Dover Saddlery is a huge chain tack store, I guess that's the way to put it, but they do carry some Breyer horses. I know the one here carries a lot less than the one back where I grew up. So it definitely depends on location, and you'll find that some of the more like local tack stores seem to carry older product. I remember this one tack store had a room that was just all Breyers, and there were so many things like from the early 2000s, so it was really cool to see. I know there was even one tack store where I found a 2001 Breyer Fest celebration horse. I got him because that was the year that I was born, but you'll never know what you find in those local tack stores. Okay, really quick, I just wanted to add this into this section, even though it is technically, I'm like talking about online, but it does have to do more with tack stores. So tack stores like Dover Saddler, which I mentioned, there's also Smart Pack and State Line Tack and so many others out there that also carry Breyer horses. So if you're looking to like buy stuff with your real horse stuff as well, make sure to go check that out and see the Breyer horse selection. A lot of them have at least a few things, so in-person tack store, online tack store, they usually got some Breyer horses. Then we have kind of an obvious one, Tractor Supply. The only reason I say obvious is because Tractor Supply has some sort of exclusive run every year with Breyer. I don't have any of the ones from this year, or I don't know if I have any of them with me, but I do have quite a few in my collection. I think they're just back at home. And the ones this year are really nice too. I know some Tractor Supplies only carry when they are having the exclusive models there or around Christmas time, so it might not be an all year thing, but they're there at some point for most locations. Another place to check for regular run products is toy stores. So this is definitely not every toy store. And when I say toy store, I mean like toy/collectability stores. But before you would go check any out, I would definitely suggest going to the store finder on BreyerHorses.com. These list all of the flagship stores. So that means that these stores, well, I believe that they list all the flagship stores, but basically there are like brick and mortar flagship model exclusives that are only sold at these specific stores, which can be tack shops as well, but also toy stores. But you could check online to see if there will actually be any Breyers in that store. I would say it's about a 50-50 chance if you're just walking into a random toy store. I'll definitely always just like stop in to check just to see if they have any, and again, I would say it was about 50% of the time there actually were Breyers. Then we have antique and thrift stores. So antique stores, I have always checked for Breyers at antique stores, and I feel like it's like an 80% chance that if you walk into like a pretty decently sized antique store that you will actually find a Breyer horse. It might not be fairly priced, but there's a chance you'll at least see one. I've had quite a few great antique store finds, so I just love walking around and searching for them, even if I don't actually get any. And then there's thrift stores. So I'm not really like a huge thrift store person, but I did actually go to one a few weeks ago because a coworker told me that they thought that they might have Breyer models there, just like randomly in a bag. And I think it was a Savers, so a chain retail thrift store. And I did not find any, but I feel like on social media, I have been seeing a lot more people find like dollar traditional models. Like they're definitely not in great condition or anything, but like any scale Breyer model for $1 is such a good find. So definitely check out your local thrift store, you never know. Those are all the in-person ones I am covering. Now we are going to move on to online buying. So I'm going to start with the obvious, BreyerHorses.com. On there, you'll find all the current regular runs, and then you also have the opportunity to join clubs that give you access to a variety of different models, whether it's Collector Club exclusives, Premier Models, Stablemate Club, Vintage Club. I'm probably missing another club, but lots of options on there. You'll also find current regular run product on Amazon. There is the off chance that you randomly find others that aren't in the current regular line, but it doesn't hurt to check. Breyer like has their own store on Amazon, so you can get stuff directly from Amazon from Breyer. And then I think there's also just random sellers, and that's how you'll find the older products being for sale on Amazon. We also have Model Horse online retail stores. So these are individuals that get kind of like bulk from Breyer. So it's a lot of regular line product, but a few of these also sell older models. They'll like buy collections in bulk and just sell those on their website in a different category, of course. There are definitely more than what I have listed. Sorry, my cat just fell behind our TV and was entangled in the wires. But anyway, she's okay, so let's move on. Where were we? Online retail stores. So just to name a few that come to the top of my head, we have Mr. Bobby's Model Horses. And the reason I specifically wanted to mention this one is because she is based out of the UK. So if you are a collector in the UK, definitely go check her out and buy your regular run product from her because you are going to save a lot on shipping. There is also Triple Mountain Model Horses. I feel like this one has been around forever. They also have an in-person store. I want to say it's like in Maine, maybe some state starting with an M. I honestly can't remember, but they have a huge online store. They have basically every regular run model, lots of older models. You'll never know what you'll find on there. I was creeping around on there the other day and there were a lot of really nice vintage models. And then another one is Chelsea's Model Horses. She always has a huge room at Breyerfest in the Clarion, so I feel like she's always one that just sticks in my mind. And now we're gonna move on to more the second hand. I feel like that's a bad way to describe it, but it pretty much is just individuals selling their models. So not that I will literally ever sell this model horse, but if I did individually, I would use any of the following sites to do so. So first up, we have eBay. I feel like eBay was the first place that I like started to sell when I did have models to sell on. But I feel like over the years, it's become extremely unpopular just because of how high the fees are. But you'll still always see a lot of models on there. It's a super popular resale site. Another one that is specifically for model horses and doesn't have all the fees attached to it is Model Horse Sales Pages. With that, there's lots and lots of listings, but you are just talking to the seller directly, so you're dealing with the payment with the seller on your own and all that different stuff. Always use PayPal and don't do friends and family. If you are not friends and family with them, protect yourself. And then there's Facebook. So Facebook kind of has two options to it. There's just the regular Facebook Marketplace, which everybody sells everything on nowadays. And then there are also specific model horse sales groups. There are probably like, I don't even know, 10 to 20, probably more, probably hundreds, but there's a few main ones that people really go to. I'm pretty sure one's just called Breyer Horses for Sale, Model Horses for Sale and Trade. There's a model horse auction site, so you get to like bid. That's where I end up getting a lot of my good deals. Definitely read all the rules for each group. Everybody's different, but if you just go and search up Model Horses for Sale or Breyer Horses for Sale / trade, whatever, you'll find a lot of groups and you'll be able to see which ones are the most popular and maybe just start with those. I also see a lot of people selling on Instagram. It's pretty much just people with their model horse. Oh my God, Mabel, she is trying to knock down my tripod. He's fascinated by my ring light. But usually it's just people's individual model horse accounts just posting on their account or their story saying like, hey, I have this model for sale, like message me for more photos, and pay through PayPal, Venmo, whatever. And then also one last thing is Macari. This is like a Poshmark type of thing. I know it's really popular for Funko Pop collectors to sell on there, and I've also seen quite a few model horse collectors do it as well. I think it's really just the same thing as eBay as the fees and stuff, but obviously when it comes to like places like eBay and Macari, you're paying those fees so that it's a wider audience. But I would definitely suggest trying any of the free options first if you're ever trying to sell a model horse. Maybe I could do another video on how to sell your model horse. Let me know if anybody would be interested in that. And then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on really quick, if you have the opportunity to ever do it, and this is where I do most of my model horse shopping, it is at Breyer Fest. Breyer Fest is where you'll find a lot of deals. There's literally a whole hotel that is just full of model horses for sale, so that's pretty amazing. There's a ton of model horses for sale at the Kentucky Horse Park during that time. I really do not buy any models except for when I'm at Breyer Fest throughout the year, unless it's a club exclusive of some sort and you kind of have to buy it right then if you don't want to be paying secondhand prices later. But yeah, I think that about covers it. I hope that if you're new to the hobby, this gives you an idea of how to find model horses for sale. If you're wondering if you're getting a good price for a model, make sure to compare prices. And if you really just want to see a full list of every Breyer horse ever, go to Identify Your Breyer and just have fun on there, and you could figure out what you like and what you want. I know that I mostly touched on Breyer horses in this video. That's mostly just because that is all that I collect, but on all those secondhand places, you can also find artist resins, customs, Peterstones, Copper Fox, all those other model horse brands. But I feel like Breyer is a pretty big gateway into all those other brands and types, so I think it's a good place to start. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you do. Comment below what your favorite place to buy model horses from, or where you most frequently purchase from if you are in the model horse hobby. And make sure to subscribe for more model horse content. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me, and most importantly, stay fabulous. Bye guys!